Hello, everybody. It is Money Monday, and you are here with Simply Funded. I am Cheree, your favorite lender. For everybody who is watching us, please like the video, please share the video. We are here talking from a real estate investor point of view, as we do on Money Monday. And I've got the amazing Amanda Slate. She is a realtor, she is a real estate investor, and she is a hyper local networker. So, Amanda, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, everybody, again, don't forget Simply Funded. We fund your deals, whether you are a real estate investor, you're a self employed person, or you are looking to just buy a house for yourself in Virginia, Maryland, or DC. We are licensed in all of those areas. So, Amanda is here with me because she is a master networker. She loves to network in order to get deals. She also does a lot with regard to short term rentals and things like that. So, we're going to have a good time today, Amanda.
Yes.
Yes. Again, everybody, as you all are coming in, I see people coming in now. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, share the live stream as well. And feel free to put your questions into the comment section so that way Amanda and I can answer your questions. So, Amanda, let's get started with talking about you, your background. How did you get into real estate and ultimately real estate investing?
It was about 20 years ago. Shows my age a little bit. Sorry.
You're
I
22, yes.
yeah. So I was just super excited about real estate. Actually, my husband and I built our first house. I was 19 and he was 21. So I was just passionate. I love architecture and just being engaged in real estate. It's definitely my small business. I treat it like a business and it's not a side hustle. I do it full time. So
Yeah, and I, as a mortgage lender, I'm full time as well. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be all in on this thing, and working with people in order to help them from the lending side. So you are a realtor, right?
yes.
When did you get your license to be a realtor?
In 2003. So I've survived
Okay,
the crash.
you survived.
I
You
survived
survived two crashes.
COVID. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So what caused you to become a licensed realtor? Like, what was the decision process for you there?
I I know that's what I was trying to think of why. I just felt like it was probably a lie where someone was like, "Oh, it's flexible and you can be your own boss." And those are lies. Those are big lies. But I didn't know that until later.
It's flexible as long as you don't mind being poor. But if you are going to like actually make a career out of this thing,
Yeah.
then yeah, it's like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Mhm.
Yes, hours. So, and Selfish Love is saying hello to you, Amanda. Hello, Selfish Love.
Hello. Thank you.
So you became a realtor because somebody lied to you, but
Yeah.
then you stuck with it. So why did you stick with it?
It's just a passion. I love, helping people, create home ownership. And I feel like it's really important to help build generational wealth.
Mhm.
My husband, he really likes condemned properties. He likes that flip and seeing things transform. So that's kind of been, our little passion is to flip stuff. And then right now we're working on building our portfolio as we age. And so what
Mhm.
to have income when we don't want to work anymore. So that's
That's
what,
so smart. That's
yeah.
super smart. I've been talking to people in our age and younger, Gen X and younger, and saying, look, we may not have Social Security. I don't count on it.
Yeah.
And for those of us because so many reports are coming out that so many of us have not saved enough for retirement, I do suggest that people buy cash flow.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of ways to buy cash flow. You could either do it through dividend stocks, but you got
Mhm.
to have a lot of money in order to do that. In order for like you to make enough money from dividends for it to be substantial,
Yeah.
you could do it from like annuities or things like that within life insurance. You could do it from owning a business, but then that's never really passive income. Or you could do it through real estate. And, one of the great things about real estate investing is that if you're doing long-term, or especially long-term or medium-term investing, once you get somebody in and they are paying and all of that, you just have to stay on top of the property with regards to any kind of repairs. But it really does have a great return on investment. What do you think with regards to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's always the right time to buy the right piece of real estate. Even
Mm.
right now, I know a lot of people are like freaking out about interest rates, but
Mhm.
interest rates are normal. I mean, compared to what they were, a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. And it's about creating long term that cash flow. But we just did a property, I think SimpliFunded helped with here in Front Royal that you were even able to burr method. So my investor was able to buy it. He'll fix it up and we'll be able to refi it out. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of opportunities out there. And that's why you have to create them. I mean, the money is there. We can get money from you all day, right? Um,
Yes.
but we have to be belly to belly with people and really hunt for the deals. So,
Yeah. Tracy is in here saying, let me see here. As a nonprofit scattered communities, is there a program to establish the property for? I don't know what you mean, Tracy. If you're able to rewrite that for me, I don't know what scattered communities means. I'm so sorry.
yeah, and
Um,
I'm pretty familiar with nonprofits, but I don't know what scattered properties means either. There is a
okay.
lot of government funding. So they have
Mhm.
AS&H funds that you can get, so that a lot of habitats and stuff use. A lot of the nonprofits are also just kind of stacking, lending you where you've got like Spark and all that other stuff as well to get people approved. But there are AS&H funds that I know other nonprofits use to build, properties with.
Okay. Only thing I know with nonprofits with regards to housing is like CDFI, Community Development Financial Institutions, and places like that. So Tracy is saying yes. So whatever you said,
Yeah.
ASNF, you said
Yeah. AS&H funds. Yeah.
ASNH, yes.
It's
So
affordable housing. So,
yeah.
yeah, and you have to just partner with someone. There has to be, it's like the more houses you build and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So, in our community locally, we have like People's Inc. and Habitat and other people like that. They use those funds.
Okay, cool. So let's get to networking because you're a
Okay.
super networker. Talk to us a little bit about why networking is important to your real estate and business. To your real estate business and your real estate portfolio.
Yeah, so my business, typically they train us to have like your top three pillars of business. And networking is one of my most important and the most affordable,
Mhm.
cash on cash return for my business. Um, Real estate is very much a belly to belly people business. And I was talking about today with some of our agents, like Zillow was trying to sell real estate and it failed.
Mhm.
You know why? Because they still want to be with people. And that's why people would take their car and trade it in at a dealership and get less money than to
Mhm.
put it in their front yard because they want an expert. They don't want to handle the average consumer trying to sell their own vehicle in most cases. So they definitely don't want to do that with their house. It's a pretty the biggest asset that most of them have. So I find that most people know six realtors, six lenders, right? A
Mhm.
piece. So how do you really stand out? So I think it's like getting out in your community and being involved and engaged and getting to know people.
Mhm.
So a lot of people want to just work their sphere, and your sphere is really important, but how do you grow your sphere? So I'm actually the president of a BNI group, and our lender seat became open. And when I was calling out some local lenders to try to get them, one of them had recently like quit Rotary and didn't want to do BNI, just wants to work on their sphere. But I'm like, you've got to grow your sphere, right?
You
You've
do.
got to make more connections. And the only way to do that is get out there with the people. So my husband has a little rule, like he only really wants to go to one event a week with me. So he,
Your
he's
husband is too busy with those condemned properties. So
yeah. But as far as networking events, he's like, I'll go to one a week, maybe. You know,
one a week is actually really good.
Yeah, for him to go, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm going to 2 or 3 a week,
Mhm,
whether it's a nonprofit meeting or even a board of supervisors meeting or a builders association meeting.
mhm,
So I'm out there making connections so that I can be, top of mind with people.
mhm, mhm. Now
And
do
sorry.
you go to a lot of different groups, or do you find, like, a few groups and then go to everything that they have?
Yeah, I mean, I have a few groups between like chamber and builders and some
Mhm.
nonprofit stuff because it's an easy ask. Like, I'm working on a eating competition right now for the men's shelter.
Very cool.
And that's a good thing to send to my clients to get them
Mhm,
to participate and for me to touch them and let them know what I'm doing. But it's also important, like, to go to weddings. Like, my husband, just the other week, there was a wedding, and it's his family's friend's wedding, but he was like, "Why are we going to this wedding?" But I went and I picked up a client at the wedding, and there was another agent that I was working on recruiting. So you got to go to the baby showers and the weddings and the stuff. Uh,
Being social, yeah.
yeah,
But even as an investor, so because we're talking to so many investors here, you can use your networking sphere to say, "Hey, I'm looking to buy properties. If there's anybody,
yeah,
who's looking to sell a property in, Memphis or,
right.
whatever geographic region that you're in, just let me know." And, people's reticular activation systems work,
Yeah,
right? Once they know you for something, they know Amanda for, realtor, right? And she's
yeah,
in, a place called Front Royal for all, because we have a national audience here. So
yeah,
Front Royal is a very, um, quasi-rural
yeah,
community in Northern Virginia. And, people will kind of associate you with something. Usually people like to associate everybody with something, and it's usually what you do or what you're interested in, etc. So why not have people associate you with real estate investing in
yeah,
whatever city that you're in, and being that go-to person? The other thing is, and Amanda, you can let me know what you think about this. If people don't know what you can do, you're going to lose 100% of the investment opportunities.
yeah,
However, it's better for people to come to you and you say, you know what, that specific opportunity is not for me, but thank you so much.
mhm,
And you're able to even refer those opportunities out if you're a real estate investor that's not able to actually close on a specific opportunity.
yeah. And it's basically getting the deal done. I'm an
Mhm,
early person and I like breakfast, and my husband makes breakfast on the weekends, but during the week he's not here because he's
mhm,
gone. So I started going to breakfast really early at
mhm,
like 6:37. And so I joke that I have this little breakfast club, and there were a bunch of older construction workers. Most of them are retired, and they've welcomed me into their group. They love me. And they even joke that it's our breakfast club. But that's how I really started to be like, the one guy was like, "Hey, I'm really interested in foreclosures." Like, or like, "I've got some cash and I can fix and flip some stuff. Like, if you
mhm,
send me some deals or if you find
mhm,
something, let me know." And so I really started just connecting those dots with more and more people that wanted to be investors. And it wasn't always looking for that next listing to put myself
mhm.
in the yard. So,
Yeah. So Rana is here as well. Hello, my dear. Hello, Rana. I hope you are studying. Rana is studying nuclear medicine.
wow.
Nuclear medicine. So you better be in the books, Rana. But but she's here to say hello to all of us. So, talk to us a little bit more about networking as well. So, you've got this breakfast club, you've got your social activities you're going to, you've got your BNI, etc. Um, how do you manage it all and have a career and have a family? Like, talk to
Yeah.
us a little bit about some of the balancing that you do.
Well, it's just like you make it part of your life. You are I'm going to eat breakfast anyway, right? Or I'm going to eat lunch anyway. So I read a book a long time ago, The 7 Levels of Communication.
Mhm.
And it's just like going to the same places, you know the people and they know what you want to eat. And so my kids will joke, like when we go to the breakfast place, they're like, "Oh,
Mhm.
Amanda, we're going to get you this and this and this." And they're like, and everybody's waving at me and they're like,
Mhm.
"How often do you come here?" And I was like, "Look, it's a small price to pay to be able to connect with people."
Mhm.
So I'm recently an empty nester, so I've got a little bit more time to give. I've spent a lot of times on the bleachers, and that's where a lot of my business came from before, from the kids' sports and their teachers. So I just started to branch out and just network. I do a lot of business to business networking. While the online stores are great and cheaper,
Mhm. Mhm.
going in and supporting local businesses are huge. And when you get to know those business owners and you get to help them, and you've even been able to help work on some of our business owners too, because everyone has a need. At the end of the day, they all are involved in real estate, or especially as business owners, really connecting with them and being a resource for them.
Yeah, yeah. I think that the best business is local business. It
Yeah.
is finding your community and really supporting those who can then support you,
Yeah.
because we do have so much big box business that's happening out there. It's important for us to support, like you said, the local small business owners as well. Let's talk about some of our shy people because I talk to a lot of shy people when we talk about networking here. And
Yeah.
Tiff is in the building saying, great idea. Yes, it is. Um, Shy. I'm an
Yeah.
introvert. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to talk to, not, I don't know how to talk to people, but I don't know what to say when I am going into networking events, things like that. What's some of the things that you coach people on who are maybe a little bit shyer about going to networking events?
Yeah, I think it's just, I know, and I don't like to eat breakfast by myself. You know what I mean? Not that I'm shy, but you definitely want to walk into a room where you know people. So I
Mhm,
think sometimes getting a buddy system and going with someone. I definitely don't go very many places where I don't know anybody.
mhm.
So I think that's hard to
But
do.
you had to start off not knowing people, and then eventually people saw you over and over again, right?
Right. Yeah, so it was kind of that gradual build, but I would,
Mhm,
like, text my friend and be like, "Oh, you wanna go to this event?" Kind
mhm,
of partner with someone so that you're going to these things, but I think too, if you join, like, a civic organization, which is
mhm.
less pressure as networking, that
Yeah,
kinda creates a good pool. So, like, I'm in Rotary, and then those people overlap in other things, so then you always kinda have somebody that you know, you know?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, they tried to recruit me in Rotary, but I was too busy, so,
Mine is at 7 in the morning, so
uh,
it's a good, like, get out there and get it done. It's
yeah,
okay.
this one was midday. They were really nice people, but it was midday, and I was just like, I can't. Um, so when you're networking as a real estate investor, are there certain types of people you're looking for? Are you looking to know as many plumbers as possible, as
Yeah.
many general contractors as possible? Like, walk us through some of the, like, if you meet somebody, you're like, ooh, I really need to make sure that I stay connected with them.
Yeah, I think another element of mine is I really focused on, like, divorce and elderly real estate because that kind of turns into investment properties.
Mhm.
So, I actually have an attorney that will, put me on the divorce decree. So, I have an SFR, which is for short sales and foreclosures and real estate, and REO, I mean, and there was a time that we were doing a lot of that, not as much now, but I transitioned that into this training that I took for divorce and elderly real estate. So I had an attorney that I connected with. And, sometimes she would need me to be a witness for a will or something. So it was a good give relationship. And like I said, she would add me on to the divorce decree and just connect me by email to these people that were getting divorced and they needed to sell their home. So um, it's pretty good for shy people because it's like getting that insider scoop. And well, you have to be a realtor, I guess, kind of, but you can search divorces, in public records as well. So not to make you like an ambulance chaser, but if that's your niche, to kind of network with the trades, the builders association, or like attorneys and stuff who are dealing with these, then it makes it easier. And it's a little less talking to them. They're just more down to business.
Yeah, they are. I've heard that there are people having great fortune and luck with divorce attorneys. Also, CPAs is another good one
Mhm.
as well. And certain financial advisors can sometimes be good because they tend to know what's happening financially with the individual, and if they're running into some issues, they also see all the assets as well. And that person may say, "Well, I want to sell one of these properties." Another one recently that Thomas Price came, I think it was Thomas, was property managers as well.
Yeah.
No, it was Justin out in Knoxville. Justin and Corey out in Knoxville. They were talking. They talked to a couple of property managers and ended up getting a couple of properties that way from investors that are looking to sell their properties.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like in our area, a lot of the property managers are realtors. So they're a
Mhm.
hard referral source for me because then I kind of lose my business to them. But
Okay.
um,
Okay.
I know today we were talking about if you look at the absentee owner list,
Hmm.
instead of looking at the LLCs, you find the ones that are under names,
Hmm.
like did those people become investors by default? Did they buy a
Hmm.
house for their parents or their kids?
Hmm.
And so it's a simple phone call, asking them, if they want to add to their portfolio or if
Right.
they'd be willing to sell, so
Well, a lot of people are in financial distress right now. So,
Mhm.
I really do encourage people, if you want to be a real estate investor, you want to pick up properties now. Now is a great time. We
Yeah,
are getting phone calls as hard money lenders. We're getting phone calls from people saying, "Hey, I've got this property. It's under contract or it's about to be under contract. Can I get a loan from you all in order to purchase it and rehab it?" And then they're going to be flipping it or refinancing it into long-term buy and hold status. So the deals are out there. There's
yeah,
a lot of marketing and a lot of networking that you need to do in
right.
order to get those deals. So.
Yeah, and I think networking with other agents, even agent to agent or investor to agent, because a lot of your agents are just transactional and they're just
Mhm.
putting the sign up and they don't know how to handle that house that's got stuff piled up to your knees and the grass is past your hips. Like it's
Yes.
because a lot of them are like, let's go in and we're going to paint everything and take all your pictures down. And I'm like, I don't know what
Mhm.
world they live in. That is not my world. Like I wish it was
Which
always
is the truth. I mean, so you can basically like say, "I'm a buyer to
yeah,
these real estate." Any house that you see that you just know would not sell on, public, uh, to a family that's
yeah,
looking for a ready-made thing. I've seen some properties. I saw this one property that somebody wanted us to fund, and it looked like it needed $200,000 worth of work. I mean, there were holes in the gutter areas. I mean, they showed me the pictures. I'm like, oh boy, this is a project. But
yeah,
if a realtor tried to go in there and sell that property, you can't sell that to a family. Like,
yeah.
you have to sell
And
that.
realtors have some insight. I mean, some of them, like right now, I'm doing a deal where the loan was assumed, and then I
Mhm,
get another lender for the second mortgage.
mhm,
So my clients were able to assume a 2.7, which they've paid down for 5 years, which really makes it like a 2.3.
mhm.
And so that's a really good opportunity.
Yeah,
Um, so finding some of those creative deals as well. Just
as well. Yeah.
and we don't have as many foreclosures, but as the job market changes and the
Mm.
people that have bought their homes over asking price, even as the interest rates went up last year, that those people are in 7 and 8%.
Yeah.
If they lose their job, I mean,
They're all
they
one check away. Yeah.
they don't have the equity. I mean, it's unfortunate now that we do still have some foreclosures, and the people should have just sold their house because it would have sold before. But they're not going to have the equity, to be able to turn around and sell it.
Yeah. Pro Dumpster Diver saying, I'm in here now. Well, hello.
I
Hello to
love the
you.
name.
Yes. So we are getting a lot of pre-foreclosure calls, though, just so everybody knows. We're getting
Yeah,
people who are 3, 4 months behind, 5 months behind on their mortgage. They know they'll never catch up. It could, for whatever reason, they're behind and they're like, look, I'm trying to get ahead of this early or
yeah,
earlier. And then we also have people who are like, look, Cheree, this is going to the auction block next week. Can you help? Right.
yeah,
And one of the things that I will say is it's easier for me to help you if I know you now. So reaching out to me early as a lender and just saying, hey, I want to introduce myself. This is what I'm looking for, etc. Let's build that rapport now.
yeah.
Let me get some basic information about you now, and let me give you the information you're going to need to give me when the deal comes, so that way we're not scrounging at the last minute as well. So yeah, but this networking thing is extremely important. One of the things that I talk to introverts about is, at the very least, there's a acronym
Yeah,
that I learned that I really like. It's FROG. It stands for Family, Recreation, Occupation, and Goals. And at the very least, you could, say, hey, tell me about your family.
yeah,
If the person's married, if the person's not married, they'll answer. If they are really close to their mother or their father or their kids or whatever, it's a way to just kind of get them to talk about themselves. And then the same thing with the recreation. What's your favorite thing to do?
mhm.
Are they into golf? Are they into church or, whatever their recreation thing, occupation, and then goals? Like,
And
what,
I think
what
if they connect with a investor brand, like even SimpliFunded
Mhm.
or like Grid, if I wear my Grid shirt, everyone's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Grid is like Fight Club. You don't know what it is, but you want to come, right?"
Yes.
Um,
Grid is super cool. Yeah.
yeah, or you got like bigger pockets.
Mhm.
So, like for our Grid shirts, Mike made it where it was like wealth builder on the back. So I think those are trigger words too. And if
Mhm.
you start talking about like wealth building and generational wealth, it
Mhm.
makes you not sound like, sometimes saying a cash buyer is like you're predatory almost,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just like that you're wanting to help people. So
Thank you for the super chat, Selfish Love, saying this is great info. Thank you so
mhm.
much, ladies. Well, Selfish Love, I hope you are coming to our internal Zoom meeting as well that we're doing in a couple of weeks. We're going over the Indistractable book. And I know that you are switching things up. Selfish Love is in accounting, but she's trying to switch things up right now.
Okay.
So, so yeah, but thank you so much, Selfish Love, again for the super chat. Final words with regards to networking. Anything that people should think about as they are building their network.
Yeah, I would just keep meeting people. Like, I think you need to set a goal. Like, if you have a CRM of some sort or Google Sheets, like, you have to set a goal of how many people you're going to have in there. So,
Yeah.
um,
And also don't forget to keep up with people as well. It is better
yeah,
for you to have 20 deeper relationships with people who can help you with your real estate investing journey than to
yeah,
meet, 300 people and you don't ever touch them again or know them again.
right.
So
Yeah,
Ron
this
is
is
coming to
back to
the
the
Zoom.
basics. Yay.
Yeah, getting back to the basics. Pro Dumpster Diver has a question. Can foreclosures build generational wealth, or is that bad? People who people who buy foreclosures? Yeah,
Yeah,
you can absolutely do that. And no, it's not bad. I mean, think about this. Somebody who's going through foreclosure, they have a lot of financial stress on them. And if you're able to purchase that property from them and give them some relief from that stress, depending on how much equity they have, sometimes you're even able to help put a little cash in their pockets so they can find their next home, etc.
Yeah.
We consider ourselves um, in the life-saving business here.
Yeah, and even more with short sales because
Hmm.
it saves their credit too, where they can purchase something in 2 years. And also, a lot of times the lender will pay for them to move. So
Hmm.
if you can catch them before the foreclosure, but it's hard. People don't want to ask for help. So
Yeah.
it's a good way to network and just putting yourself out there that you can help save people from losing their home or
Mhm.
save them from foreclosure. And even if you're negotiating a short sale, to get them to the next level. So,
Another question you have: would I be called a landlord if I buy a foreclosure and it goes through? Depends.
so well, you would own it. A lot of the
Mhm.
foreclosures, the banks are not getting the people out, but in Virginia, I know you can evict people. So my house is a foreclosure. It was actually a second home. It was sitting for years. Like it just had some raccoons in it or something. And it was crazy. But I was able to buy it with an FHA loan too, so I could keep some of my cash and
Oh, great.
put it back into the house. So
Oh,
yeah,
very cool. Well, it's very beautiful. I love that wood behind you. That is
thank you.
gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, you would be a landlord if you have a tenant in the property, but you definitely, before buying a foreclosure, networking with a real estate attorney, a
Yeah.
very good one, so that you know what your rights are going to be and landlord laws as well in your state. So, and Ron is saying, thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Rana.
So, any final words that you have for this evening?
Nope, I just think you guys need to get out there and to be belly to belly with people. Go find the deals.
Go find the deals, absolutely. And for me, again, if you all need money for any kind of mortgage, if you're an investor, we do nationwide deals. And if you are looking for a home for yourself, Maryland, Virginia, DC is where I am licensed. Pro Dumpster has one more question. Is there a business that gets people out of their homes after the foreclosure and fixes the house up, or does the state pay for that? The state does not pay for that.
State does not pay for that. But we do have contractors and people that will do
Mhm.
it for you. So lots of times as an investor, if I have an end user buyer, I can do the clean out and the repair and then sell it to you. So if
Mhm.
you're not ready for that level of work, your investor will typically handle that for you.
Yeah, yeah. So there are companies out there that help, especially hoarders,
Mhm.
like organize themselves and basically do a move out. And a lot of that is more psychological than it is the physical things.
Yeah.
So, but there are some people who are very gifted at that. Sometimes people are elderly, and again, you have some people that are just very gifted at um, being conscious of people's sentimental value with their things, right? So, yes, there are businesses out there, and who knows, this may be a business that you choose to start as well. Fixing houses, that's, those are your contractors. Those are your contractors that are going to do that. And it depends on what needs to be fixed. So, yeah. All righty then. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody
Great.
who uh, asked us questions. Thank you to Selfish Love, who is the sponsor of today's show officially. I am Cheree. Amanda, how do people get in touch with you um, if they are looking for a realtor
They can
or want
email,
to come to Grid?
yeah, they can email me at amandaslate.com, um, or call me or text me anytime. So, and we are Shenandoah Valley Grid. So,
Yeah, it's GRID
yeah,
investor.com if anyone's looking for the main page, and then you go to locations and you
yeah,
can go to Shenandoah and find Amanda and Mike. They
yeah.
are awesome. And then you are also able to, if you don't live in the Shenandoah area, if you live other places in the country, there are networks all over the country. So
Yeah.
um, last question, Pearl Dumpster. Are
Mhm.
many people hoarders, or do they just hoard money under their mattresses?
There are many people that are hoarders,
There are
whether it's
people who are
animals or
hoarders. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've met quite a few. So, all righty then. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you next week. Take care.
You. See you
Bye.
later.